Y'all ain't give me no compliments today,
I
for
did.
real.
What?
Y'all ain't glazed me enough today.
Oh. You know what? No comment. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Temptation Island Season 2, Episodes 3 and 4. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, hype up the video, and leave a comment down below. So we pick up with Sydney, who's finally ready to sit down, and after she has seen the clips, she decides, you know what? I'm just gonna move on with my life.
If they hold my hand.
I'll do whatever you need.
I'm okay.
You sure?
I'm good. Yeah, they got me.
Tell me what you're feeling.
He's literally showing me, I wish him the best, but it is not with me. The person that I know he is. I can finally move the fuck on with my life. Spots on a leopard do not fucking change. So it's like, why am I even upset?
The more that I'm seeing her, the more it seems evident that she was already done. She'd been checked out of this relationship because she does not trust him. She has never trusted him. So I did say Mikey's the one who has one foot in the door and one foot out the door. I think she's the same. So it seems to me like she came on the show kind of to get her lick back. I don't know. Like the more I see her, the more it seems like, oh, you came with a plan. You just needed a platform. And I can't be fully mad at it because like I said, if I'm ever agreeing to go on a show like this, you better believe the relationship has been dead. It has been dead. And I'm taking all the liberties. I'm doing a madness. I don't care. But it is kind of twisted to come on the show acting as if you are here to fix your problems. But like you were really quick to jump ship. Like you. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like she wanted to be able to move on guilt-free. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, he's done crazy stuff. Look at how he's talking. I now have the green light to do whatever I want. And she had outlined what the boundaries were. She crossed them well before Mikey did. I put my bets on Mikey. Here Sydney is saying, hold my drink. So yeah, Sydney, I don't know, girl. It kind of looks like you had a plan the whole time. But I'm also not mad at it. It's time for the guys' bonfire, and we're going to start with Cole. He sees footage of Scarlett saying she's unsure if her needs are going to be met in this relationship.
Asking for, better communication is not asking a lot. I don't want to waste energy on fighting.
Jesus Christ.
Just want to be happy.
We've had a pretty stable relationship. I give that girl everything. I do treat her really well.
What I saw was a woman who's struggling, and then I hear you say, it's been pretty good. What do you think that gap's about?
I don't look at it as like her side versus my side. I would never hurt her. I never have the thought of...
But you have. The clip is showing that she's hurting.
Mark expresses his confusion regarding Cole and the big gap between him and Scarlett. She's convinced that things are horrible, and they've been horrible even leading up to coming onto the show, whereas he thinks everything's great. He's like, I've been doing so well, especially the last 2 months. He makes an emphasis on this 2 months thing. So remember that because it seems like that's not even true. He's like, yeah, for the last 2 months, things have been great. I mean, yeah, I need to work on my transparency, but I'm transparent majority of the time. And Mark is like, either you're transparent or you're not. There's no, oh, well, 99% of the time. There's none of that. Either you are transparent or you're not. So then Mark also tells him he has to dig deep because something is amiss. There's a reason why your girlfriend feels the way that she does. And if you can't see that, even if you don't know exactly what the reason is, if you can't see that she's not content in your relationship, I don't know. I'm thinking to myself, either Cole is delusional or he's being willfully ignorant to keep from being held accountable. Like if I just don't see what's happening, then I don't have to be told that what I'm doing is wrong or is aiding to the issues that we're having here. But I don't know, there's a disconnect with Cole and I need to know what it is. Next is Jack, and he's watching Cheyenne complain about the lack of romance in their relationship, and he's not shocked.
Even for like our anniversaries, like we don't do anything.
That's just really sad.
That's not in Jack's,
Like he's a bit cheap then. He's a bit cheap for your standards.
She doesn't look real highly of me. It's kind of what I expected. The pay grade stuff, I hear that all the time.
Fuck that, bro.
I too am not shocked by Jack's reaction because you can tell Cheyenne doesn't rate the man. You don't have to hear her explicitly say, I don't respect him, I lost my respect, or I look down on him. You don't have to hear her explicitly say that. You can see it in the way that she acts. You can see it in how she regards him. It's just, ooh. And I'm pretty sure she lost even more respect after the cheating happened. She already was looking at him like a dodo, and she looks at him even worse now after the fact. So Jack says, I feel like I'm just chasing her, and she keeps pushing me away. And Mark is like, well, that's something for you to figure out. Why do you think that that is happening? Next is Summit, and he sees Kaylee talk about the negative things that he said to her. And he confirms that he did say those things.
My body's not your dream body. And like, I tell him, like, that hurts when you tell me that.
Yeah, I mean, there is validity to what she's saying. I mean, that girl is such a catch. She doesn't deserve that. She deserves better. I'm putting her down, and I know I am, but I'm helping.
Summit pissed me right off. Because he's gonna use the fact that she has said before that her body is not where she wants it to be. And he's going to use that as justification to say the things that he said to her, also acknowledging that he knows it hurts her feelings. But then he's going to turn around and he's going to say, oh, my feeble man brain, his words, not mine. My feeble man brain just doesn't understand, how my words come across to women and whatever. But he just admitted that he knows it hurts her feelings and it's not right to do. And then he's going to say, this has happened in a previous relationship. So you know what you're doing. Let's not. These men and their willful ignorance is pissing me off. What do you mean? Oh, my feeble man brain just doesn't comprehend that telling somebody that their body is not your dream body for a woman is going to hurt their feelings. You're telling me you just did not know that would hurt somebody's feelings. Really? And Kaylee doesn't even come across as one of those women who, does the whole banter thing. She looks like she's on the verge of tears all the time. No offense. She just does. So your girl is fragile. Or at the very least, since getting together, she's become more fragile. Why the hell would you think that would not hurt her feelings? And what's the point in saying it anyways? Instead of being encouraging, you know what? We're going to work towards your dream body. Why do you have to say your body is not my, oh my God. Oof. Last is Mikey, and he sees Sydney and Xavier talking about how immature he is, and he sees Sydney opening up to Xavier.
I mean, off rip, I guess I just thought it was immature.
But I don't want to keep talking about him. Let's talk about you. I feel like even just knowing Xavier for 3 days, I feel comfortable sharing with him.
Her biting her lip while he playing the guitar. If Sydney doesn't want to love me, then what can I say? I mean, I want to punch the shit out of him. I'm going to be real.
It's not about him, right?
It's not about him. I'm so open.
Hold on.
I don't understand.
Are you?
Mikey says he wants to punch Xavier in the face because Sydney was biting her lip when he was playing the guitar for her. Mind you, this is the same guy who was drooling at the three women, the big three, the three amigas. Well, he says amigos, but the three amigas, same guy who now wants to punch Xavier and be mad at Sydney for biting her lip while this man was playing guitar. Ain't that something? He's then gonna say, oh, but I've been so honest in our relationship. And Mark is like, no, you haven't. You can't even be honest with yourself. Here this man goes, starts shaking and crying, shaking and crying. And it's like, no, I'm sorry. Like, we're not going to feel bad. We're not going to feel bad for you. You played this girl throughout your relationship. Although I don't think she should have stayed. The fact is that she did. You knew you were running game on her. You knew that. And I'm pretty sure he thought he was always going to have her in his back pocket. And now that he doesn't, he shook. As you should be. He says that he loves to be the fun guy, the one who creates a vibe, which is great and all, but he hides behind those antics. He keeps himself from being vulnerable by being the funny guy, by being the class clown, and Mark calls that out. Then he's like, you know what? It's scary to be in love. And Mark is like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And you're absolutely right. It is scary to be in love because you're making yourself susceptible to getting your heart cracked wide open. But also, You are allowing yourself the opportunity to truly be loved and accepted and to experience something so beautiful if you allow yourself to. That's the part about love that these jaded people don't want to admit. Yes, have you been scorned? Probably. Could you be scorned again? Probably. But you also could experience something great if you allow yourself to be vulnerable, if your person is doing the same, if you guys initially connected on compatibility and not just vibes, you could have something beautiful. But no, you want to be class clown, you want to run game on this girl, and now you shocked that she's done with it. Back at the house, Mikey goes to his three amigas, and he's like, I can't believe that she let Xavier talk like that to me or talk like that about me. And I'm thinking, well, that's interesting because weren't you just checked by India like 2 days ago about your goofiness, about your immaturity? She said at this point, you're just giving homeboy, which is fine. But if you're trying to find something serious, if you're trying to get deep, you're going to have to pull that mask off. You're going to have to drop the facade. But now he's mad because another guy is checking him for the same thing that everybody has noticed already. He's been told this. He knows this. It's not a surprise. So the girls are like, I actually don't think that she said anything bad. But then also, if your girlfriend feels that way about you, maybe you shouldn't be with her, which I do agree with. I don't think Cheyenne said it, not Cheyenne. I don't think Sydney said anything crazy, but I also don't think that these two should be together. He thinks that Sydney basically said he's the worst guy on planet Earth. Because you were called immature, you think that she meant you are the worst guy on planet Earth. Actually, seek help. Okay. At the girls' villa, we have Sydney, who's back with Xavier. He gives her flowers. All the girls got flowers from the guys. And he also gave her this card that was shaped like a gift. And it said, you are the prize. Can you imagine? She starts to cry. Somebody else cried too. I think it was Cheyenne. Yeah, Cheyenne cried when she got the flowers. And she said, this is the first time I've gotten flowers in a year. And I'm not saying these aren't sentimental moments. But a simple gesture like this is bringing you to tears. If every sentimental gesture brought you to tears, then maybe you're different. But your relationship is so in the pits that a card that says, you're the prize, brings you to tears. Something is deeply wrong with these people's relationships. And self-esteem, if we want to be honest. The next day, everybody gets to go on double dates. Sydney and Scarlett went dancing with Xavier and Clint. Sydney says that the best part of her last year doesn't include Mikey, which is a problem. And she left the date hand in hand with Xavier. Summit and Mikey went on an aerial date with Jasenia and India. Summit really wants Jasenia to pursue him, and Mikey is happy to have such a great bond with India. Kaylee and Cheyenne go quad biking with Zach and Preston. Kaylee says she doesn't want to be with somebody who thinks that she's trying to change them. She just wants him to be a good boyfriend. And Cheyenne admits that her reactions have been over the top and she still doesn't trust Jack. She's just too comfortable to leave. Cole and Jack go snorkeling with Sydney and Carter. Jack says the intense connection with Carter took him off guard. And Cole is realizing that he has to put in work in this relationship to make Scarlett feel safe. But then he still, like, whenever he says that, it's like he's on the verge of a breakthrough. But then he turns around and he says, but I've been so honest and there's nothing more that I can do. She has to work on herself if she's ever going to forgive me. I'm just like, you don't get it. Regardless of the fact that she has to work on things, you have to work on things. And he doesn't acknowledge that. I need him to focus on himself, focus on his development. Don't worry about what she got going on. Because even if she she gets over her trust issues and whatever, you are still a liar at the end of the day. He later says he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't, because when he lies, he gets in trouble. When he's honest, he gets in trouble. And my ears perked up. I said, why are you getting in trouble for being honest? What are you being honest about? Like, what are you being honest about? Are you doing bad things that you know you should not be doing and then coming clean because you should be coming clean and then getting in trouble because the action was wrong in the first place? He's like, oh, but if I lie, that's a problem. Obviously. So the fact that to him, he would rather just be quiet than stop doing the bad behavior, it just blows my mind. What? How are you not seeing that the behavior itself is the problem? And then you're making it worse by lying. Sure, you're telling the truth, but you're telling the truth about bad things. Are you? Let's move on. So in the guy's villa, they play Never Have I Ever, and the loser is supposed to kiss somebody, right? The questions I wasn't really keeping track of, but the one that I focused on was, who has somebody in here that they want to sleep with? Jack put his finger down, and so did Summit. And Summit is out here trying to act like he's the guy who's not trying to cross boundaries. He feels bad for the things that he's doing, but you're going to admit that there's somebody in the house you want to sleep with? You're not coming off as innocent as you want to. You know what I'm saying? He keeps saying, oh, I'm just a friendly guy. Like, yeah, I can come across like flirting, but I don't mean anything by it or whatever. If I was his girlfriend, I would take issue with that comment. I would. But anyways, he does not kiss one of the girls. He jokingly goes and kisses Mikey. But you could tell that Jack, he actually wants to kiss this girl. What's her name? Carter. So the whole villa is chitter-chattering. They're like, I think they're about to sleep together. Child, they almost did.
Everything I've done is talk about you. Jack can't swim. He can't swim.
Temptation.
You're so dirty.
He knew he was about to do a madness, so he was like, listen, let me pull you into a blind spot, kiss you, even though I'm still mic'd up, idiot, and think I'm gonna get away with it. You really thought. So he's then going to, you guys, chasing after a man is actually so embarrassing. He's then going to be in his confessional and say, oh yeah, she's a good kisser, but she's not better than Cheyenne. And here goes Carter, none the wiser. She is just smitten over this guy. She goes and she tells Lulu, she's like, oh my gosh, he and I kissed. It starts to spread like wildfire because Lulu's telling everybody like, oh, they kissed, they made out, they whatever. It's just embarrassing. And then it's embarrassing for both women. It's embarrassing for Carter because clearly you're being used. And it's embarrassing for Cheyenne because this man is able to do the things that you want him to do. He just doesn't want to do it for you, right? We literally see him go on a date with Carter and he wants to buy her gifts because he knows this has been a deficit in his relationship. So now he's trying to do better by buying gifts for another woman. Not the woman you're with who's been asking for the gifts, another woman. Then we get a bomb drop, okay? This couple, like I said in the previous video, came on the show and made it seem like everything was perfect up until he cheated. Come to find out, Cheyenne cheated first. Cheyenne cheated first. They got into an argument, same storyline. They got into an argument. She got drunk. She went and she hooked up with her ex. Now the story is that she only made out with him. I don't know how far true that is, but the fact of the matter is she cheated first. And he says he cheated to get his lick back. So all this time, this woman wants us to believe that Jack just ain't shit. Jack is so horrible. Jack is this. Jack is that. Like, we're in this place because of Jack. When you cheated first, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there were things that led up to that point. But girl, you started it. You absolutely started it. And yeah, he probably shouldn't have got his lick back, but like, you started it. Later on, we're going to find out that her big issue is the fact that he went as far as he did with the girl that he cheated with. But tomato, girl, you broke the trust in the relationship first. From one disloyal man to another, Mikey is venting about how hard it is to be faithful.
The first time in my life I've been loyal.
A year is not that long.
That's a long time.
If she does something, it's okay. But if I do something, like she threatens to leave so much.
I'm petrified to flirt.
God knows what she's doing over there. Like,
Yeah, you see what I'm dealing with.
You know what Mikey sounds like? Obviously, he sounds like the guys who want an applause for being faithful. But Mikey also sounds like those dads who want props for taking care of their own children. And it's society's fault that we are here because we do clap. Not me, the proverbial we. These are bare minimum things. These are the barest of minimums. I'm not clapping for that. I'm not clapping for basics. No. This is really hard for me. Don't piss me off. And I know somebody's gonna bring it up. Maybe he's non-monogamous. And if that's the case, number one, find somebody who's also non-monogamous. And number two, there's still a code of conduct, okay? If you can't be loyal, you're gonna struggle regardless. Mark comes in and he tells both villas that they are going to have a night out. I'll be so honest, wasn't nothing happening on the night out, okay? Everybody that's already vibing just continues to vibe. And then we had Xavier dedicate a song to Sydney. Cool. Back at the villa, now that the drinks are flowing, now that they've gone out of the villa, now that they've been dancing, everybody's feeling loose. Everybody's feeling comfortable. Especially Jack, who clearly has gotten very comfortable.
But he's about to go ballistic.
Do you want to go to bed?
Yeah, sure.
With me? Temptation comes in everyday life. Close his blinds really quick. If you don't feed into this shit, you're not gonna find any answers for your relationship as a whole.
Oh, Carter, honey, you are being used. You are a pawn in this man's game, and I feel so sorry for her. Don't get me wrong. I do think that the tempters and the temptresses, they are aware that this is their role. They're literally supposed to make you see something outside of your relationship. But Carter's falling. And she's falling fast. And it happens every season. There's that one person who, forgets the assignment and starts to develop feelings for somebody who is still attached to somebody else. This girl is like, yeah, he's really opening up to me more. We're getting closer. Meanwhile, this man is like, yeah, I'm doing all of this as part of the experiment because it's a means for me to understand what's wrong in my relationship. You are a means to an end, Carter. This man wakes up the next morning and he's like, well, now that I'm, thinking about it clearly, this wasn't right. It feels so weird sleeping next to somebody else. And I really hope that Cheyenne is not doing the same thing. Child, after seeing this footage, I hope that she is, honestly. And I know, it's so weird to talk about temptation on it because it goes against everything that I believe in relationships, but respectfully, if you're coming on the show, you might as well, because I'll be damned if I'm sitting in my villa crying my eyes out over a nigga that don't give a shit about me. Absolutely not. Fast forward to the bonfire. We're gonna start with the guys, and the first guy to watch some footage back is Jack.
I don't trust him. He knows how bad he hurt me too. He's just been filling my head full of bullshit.
I'm realizing that I am okay without Jack.
That honeymoon stage is faded in our relationship. I can't agree. We're not happy in the relationship.
So he's then going to rave about Carter to say, oh, she's so sweet, she's so genuine, she's a breath of fresh air. I hope you know that you're still in the honeymoon phase. So if you don't sort out what's going on with you, if you don't unpack the trust issues, unpack the toxicity that you've been dealing with for 5 years, you're gonna fall in the same pit that you did in your previous relationship. Because when the honeymoon phase is over and real life sets in, the problems you had beforehand are still gonna be present. So sure, things seem nice now because they have to be nice. Now it's a new relationship, everything's exciting. But when it's no longer exciting, have you addressed your issues? I don't think so. Next is Mikey, and although he's not crying, for now, he's definitely experiencing pain.
You make it so easy.
No, I like it.
We're dating. We're exploring.
Okay. She looks beautiful, by the way, first and foremost. Nothing I saw made me uncomfortable. I mean, if that's the guy for her, I commend her on that. And I mean that.
Okay.
Mikey is trying his hardest to keep it together. And he's like, oh, I'm not fazed. I'm not bothered. This is fine. I love this for her. This is great for her. Mark is not buying it for 1 second. Nobody is. Literally, nobody is buying this facade. You are hurt. And it's okay to be hurt. That's the thing that he's missing. It's okay to be hurt. So he's like, oh no, I'm fine. I have India who helps me regulate my feelings. Didn't I say this man was going to lean into the whole old black woman savior thing? Hello. He's convinced that India, in a span of 7 days, has taught him how to regulate his emotions. No, you're really good at suppressing. You're really good at masking. And the mask didn't even stay on for that long because when they were about to go back to the villa, this man breaks down in tears.
I see that Sydney has found somebody that she cares about. It's hard to watch.
I just thought Sydney loved me. It's only been a week.
I hate to see somebody be torn up like this, but it's about time you be honest with yourself. Be honest with the part that you played in this relationship. Be honest with the fact that you are hurt by what Sydney is doing. Be honest with the fact that Sydney has gotten to this point because of your behavior. But I also, y'all know I'm even playing field for everybody, okay? I also don't think this girl should have pursued a relationship knowing she was still holding a grudge. But here he is now questioning Sydney's love for him, but can you blame her? Can you blame her? She literally gave you an ultimatum and you did not choose her. Last is Summit, and he does not have faith that he'll be able to keep it together the way that Mikey did.
I don't know what he gets out of like making me feel bad about myself.
I guess I don't fully understand like what I'm doing. Am I really such a shitty boyfriend? I'm just like a very independent person, I feel like. We don't need to like be each other's absolute rock. Maybe I'm just not ready for a relationship still.
You're on the right track.
Oh, I didn't think you would say that.
Summit claims, this guy's being purposefully obtuse. Summit claims he had no idea that Kaylee didn't feel supported in his relationship, and he has no idea why that is. Mind you, he just said at the previous bonfire that he's aware his negative comments towards her are hurtful. On top of that, when we were first introduced to this couple, did he not say, I was being a shitty boyfriend on purpose because the commitment was too much for me? The walls were closing in on me and I had to find a way to self-sabotage. He said this, but all of a sudden he just doesn't know why she doesn't feel supported. Then as he keeps talking, he's gonna say, I just don't feel like we have to be attached at each other's hips and we have to constantly be in contact. He finally gets to some kind of an answer and he's like, yeah, maybe I'm just not ready for a relationship. Here goes Mark like, yeah, you don't say. You don't say. This man is then gonna, oh my gosh, Summit is the king of excuses. Because first it was, oh, my feeble man brain just doesn't understand things. Now he's going to say, oh, I didn't have good examples of romantic love because I was raised by a single mother and my mom was my whole world. And Mark is like, okay, so you didn't have examples of romantic love, but don't you love your mother? Would you treat your mother the way that you treated Kaylee? This man says no. So what's your next excuse? He's going to come with something else. I'm sure of it. It's time for the women's bonfire. We're going to start with Scarlett. She sees Cole blaming her for, being the reason why they're in this place in their relationship.
I give her a lot of grace, I feel like. She'll get mad at me for the truth sometimes because she doesn't believe me.
So it's like a lose-lose for me.
Happened as recently as the week before we got here. He told me he was going to the track. And so I said, who's going to the track? This girl DM'd me, told her that we were going to the track. Seems like that information was being withheld. I don't want to have to ask to hear these things.
As I suspected, the man is still lying. He's still lying and he wants so badly for his lies to be pushed to the past so that he doesn't have to be held accountable for it. Like, oh no, that's a thing of the past. I don't do that now. Like, I'm honest with you. No, you're not honest. You admit the truth, which is why he made it clear that in the last 2 months, the only issue has been transparency. No, you're still a liar. You're still not telling the full truth. This man is going to say, oh, I'm out with the boys, knowing that there's a girl who's going to be there, a girl that he's communicated with. That's why I said, when you're getting in trouble for telling the truth, what are you telling the truth about? What is it that you're doing that you have to be honest about that's still getting you in trouble? There's something about Cole, and I feel like it would answer a lot of questions if we just got down to the nitty-gritty. But that's not my place. Scarlett is going to say that maybe there isn't somebody out there who checks all my boxes. And Mark says there is. There is, because you're going to find somebody who gives you exactly what you need to the point where all those other boxes that you thought you needed, you're going to find out that you really don't need them. And this person is going to give you everything that you desire, everything that you need. And I'm like, yeah, girl, the fact that you just don't think there's somebody good for you out there, that's sad. That's sad. I can't necessarily say I'm the person who thinks that there's somebody for everybody, because I don't think that relationships are for every single person on planet Earth. But there's definitely a chance to experience something better than what you're currently experiencing. Last for this episode is Cheyenne, and I knew things were about to kick off because she's walking into the bonfire thinking, you know what? I've let loose. I'm enjoying myself now, but I'm still being respectful. And I hope that Jack is doing the same.
This is the bunny shoes?
Yes. Shut the fuck up.
Dirty. Close his blinds really quick.
What the fuck does close the blinds mean?
This is what I mean. 5 years. 5 years. I'm off the I'm done. I'm sorry. Is this real fucking life?
Cheyenne is popping off. And I cannot blame her because if I saw my boyfriend sleeping in bed with another woman, kissing a girl off camera, being very comfortable with this woman he's only known for 7 days, I would lose my mind too. However, I need this cheating thing to be addressed, mama. Because all the while, it's been framed as if Jack's the problem, Jack's the problem, Jack's the problem. Cheyenne is perfect. Cheyenne did nothing wrong. Doesn't seem to be the case, Cheyenne. So I'm just like, vilifying Jack right now just doesn't really make complete sense to me. Yeah, what he's doing is technically wrong, even though the experiment calls for it. It's weird, guys. It's very conflicting. But you got your stuff too. And until we're honest about that, I don't know if I can side with you, girl. Respectfully or disrespectfully. The thing with Jack is, I think he's just fulfilling whatever prophecy that she keeps putting out there. She keeps thinking that he's doing the worst thing. So at this point, might as well. You're thinking it anyways. These two know they should not be together. Even earlier in the episode, Jack was like, when she cheated, I know we should have taken a break, but we didn't. And that's why things keep getting worse. And I promise you, until they properly address their relationship, it is only downhill from here. I do not see a chance for reconciliation if these two are not going to be honest, but we'll see where things go. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.